Hi everyone, my name is Lisa. You are probably as surprised as everyone else why everyone at school looks contempt or even envy. To be honest, I didn't know myself at first. Since the new principal came to our school, my life has changed dramatically, and this has also had a positive impact on my family. Why and how? You'll find out now. There was a history lesson. In which year did it become known about the existence of America in Europe? In 1492. Well done, Lisa. And how many states were there in America in 1776? Out of 13, ma'am. Well done, Lisa. Is there anyone else in the class besides Lisa? Or was no one else prepared? Jimmy Nelson. Please tell me, how old is our country this year? Apparently, you learn gossip better than history. Sit down, F. Mr. Riley, may I?
Of course, Lisa. Is something wrong?
I appreciate your care and help for me and my family, but I think it's best if you treat me like everyone else.
Do your classmates tease you?
No, it's just better this way.
Well, you know I can't do that. I gave my word to your father and I can't break it.
I understand, but...
If someone says something to you, let me know. I'll figure it out.
But you'll only make it worse.
I won't. I promise to keep you safe. Go to class.
Honey, are you home?
Yes, Mom. Is there something wrong? You're so sad.
It's all about Mr. Riley.
There's too much of him in our lives, right?
That's not the right words. Because of him, they look at me askance. Who even asked him to transfer to our school?
You know, he's a military man, ex-military. And he gave his word to your father that he would take care of us. It was your dad's last wish. And Mr. Riley is a man of honor, especially since our dad once saved his life and he now owes him a huge debt.
I understand, but because of his help and care, I'm having a hard time. School kids are spreading dirty rumors about us.
I've told you 100 times that I can figure it out, but you won't let me get involved.
It's just the best if he left, or stopped singling me out.
Oh, my dear. Thanks to Mr. Riley and his help, we're staying afloat. He helps us a lot.
Come on, I'll go to school on my own, just like before.
Are you shy of me?
No, more precisely, yes.
I understand. There's a rumor going around at school. Okay, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I meant well. You know you're like a daughter to me. Your father saved my life, and I owe it to him.
I understand. Well, Lisa, can you share with us what you did to our strict director? I thought you were modest. Lisa went crazy and attacked her, grabbing her hair and screaming. Then the director came up and dispersed everyone with a whistle.
What's going on here? Who did this?
He asked, looking at the crumpled piece of paper. Everyone was silent.
Well, if you don't want to do this, it will be bad. I'll intern to my office,
said the director, and went to his room. Lisa went into the classroom and sat down to cry. Jimmy came up to her and said,
Are you satisfied? Because of your affair with the principal, we will all be punished now.
Then the history teacher came in.
Jimmy Nelson, take back your words. I won't.
Lisa jumped up from her seat and started shouting at the whole class. What do you know about this? Your father is alive, but mine isn't. The director was his only friend who he trusted me and my mother with, and now he takes care of us. Nelson looked down. Everyone was shocked. There was a moment of silence in the classroom, and then Jimmy cleared his throat and said,
I'm sorry, Lisa. We didn't know.
Of course you didn't. You made your own conclusions.
I'm sorry about your father. He was on duty somewhere far away, wasn't he?
He was. And then we got the news that he was gone. That evening, when I came home, I told my mother everything.
Maybe I should figure it out anyway.
I can't just sit back and let you get hurt like that. I understand, Mom. But if you do, it will be another reason for humiliation. In high school, it's like this, so I'll have to sort it out myself. Besides, I think the director did your job. I don't even want to think about what's waiting for me tomorrow. It made me laugh. Jimmy and Emily came forward, said they were ashamed of their behavior, apologized for the paper, and asked me to accept their gifts.
Listen, Lisa, I didn't know about your father. You know, that you lost him so recently. I didn't mean to offend you. Sorry.
Yes, we wrote that piece of paper and we were ashamed. The director told us briefly what and how. In general, this will not happen again. Forgive us, everyone. Okay, I'm sorry, I said, and let them in. The shocked mother sat with us for a while and then went to her room, while the boys and I stayed in the living room. I talked about my father, what he was like, where he served, showed them his medals and photos with Mr. Riley. The boys were loudly discussing his mustache and military uniform.
I never thought he was so caring. Once, because I was late, he made me do 2 push-ups in the office 20 times. 20! I only did 3 and then lay down on the carpet face down. He took pity and let me go.
All the guys started laughing and continued chatting. Hi, I'm Josie. I can't wait to share my life story with you. I've been through a lot and still achieved my goal. You probably know what it's like to rub the nose of people who didn't believe in you. I will give you an example of a case that changed everything in me. I am waiting for your likes, support me, and I will be very pleased. I was born an ugly child. Yes, they say there are no ugly children, like women. But no, it happens. Of course, I was a beauty to my parents and other relatives, but that's not it. At a young age, when I played on the playground, many children asked why I have such a big, huge nose and small, like a pig's eyes. I didn't know what to say to them because I was born this way. It didn't bother me at first, but then when I started school, hell broke loose. I remember how on the first day I came home in tears because I saw a lot of other girls. They were all so lovely, in beautiful dresses, shoes, but it wasn't just the clothes because I also saw them. It was in the face. There is no other way to say it. I could see my nose with my own eyes, just looking down at it. Every morning when I washed my face, I tried not to look in the mirror. I finally fell into a depression. I felt like every day it was torture for me and I couldn't do anything about it. And then I got a boyfriend. Can you imagine? And yes, he was beautiful, very beautiful. I honestly didn't understand why he was with me. I met him at a clothing store while I was waiting to pay at the checkout. I lost my wallet and started to panic. It turned out that I dropped it at the fitting room. He noticed it, picked it up, and came over to me. That's how we met. I saw the saleswoman's puzzled look, and she didn't understand the way he looked at me any more than I did. Lance and I exchanged phone numbers and started chatting. We talked a lot and corresponded as much. Gradually, my self-esteem increased and I was so happy. Our first date was a couple of weeks later, and it felt like we'd known each other forever because we'd already shared a lot about each other. I was flying in the clouds. It seemed to me that this was a beautiful dream. How I did not want to wake up. I put on my best outfit for the date, and we had a great time together. So many topics to discuss. I felt that he really liked me, and it was a real miracle. Lance kissed me at the end of the night, and I cried. He got scared, asked me why I was crying, and I said I didn't understand why he was with me. I am teased by everyone, from school children to neighbors, compared to orcs, poked in my face. Even some children cry when they see me. Someone once asked me who I dressed up for Halloween, and I didn't dress up for anyone. I was just walking home from the store. Lance laughed and said that people are blind and don't see the main thing. What a wonderful person I am. That was the best compliment. We've been dating ever since. We didn't get to see each other every day, but we spent every day just chatting away. We didn't go out much. Lance preferred to sit in the park and eat, and that's how we spent our time. A month later, he invited me to visit him, and he made lasagna especially for me. After dinner, we were going to play video games, and suddenly, his phone rang. It was his friend. They chatted, and then I heard him say that he wasn't doing anything, that he was sitting at home alone. It bothered me. When Lance came back, I asked him why he lied. Lance admitted that he hadn't told his friends about me yet. I asked him why, and he didn't say anything. My mood dropped, and he tried to make a joke, but it didn't work. I asked if he was embarrassed about me, and Lance said it was stupid. Then he got a message that said, "I have a party tomorrow at 7. You are going to go there without me? Listen, we've been dating for over a month. Don't you want to introduce me to your friends?" I asked. "I would introduce you if I had friends. But what about you?" I continued. Lance hesitated for a long time and then said, "Let's go. I don't mind." Okay. I agreed and went home. The next day, I specially went to the store, did my hair and put on good makeup. In the evening, he picked me up and we went to the party. As soon as we went through the door, I heard voices. Everyone was calling for Lance. The guys came up to us and they started hugging him, saying hello, and then they noticed me and froze. At that moment, even the music stopped, and I realized that everyone was staring at me, at my face, and I felt uneasy. I looked at Lance, who was looking at the floor and didn't say anything. A second later, one of the girls said loudly, "Lance, who did you bring with you? Is this your sister or mother?" All at once neighed. I felt so sick from all of this. Tears rolled from my eyes. I ran out into the street, and he ran after me, trying to stop me, but I freaked out, pushed him away from me, and shouted that I knew it. "You didn't introduce me, didn't show me, because you're ashamed, right? Then why were you with me at all?" I shouted in tears, but Lance didn't even try to justify himself. The only thing he said was that I was a good conversationalist and it was fun for him to talk to me. He said I was a good person. I left. We broke up after that, and I think my boyfriend didn't mind at all. I was even more depressed than before. I just hated myself. I didn't go out of the room. I pulled all the mirrors out of the room. My mother was afraid for me. A few days later, I went to her kitchen and told her I wanted plastic surgery. Of course, my mother was against it at first. But then, when I told her everything about my life and how difficult it was for me, my mother agreed to pay for it. My mother found me a clinic and we went there. They decided to change my nose, make my eyes bigger, and slightly pump up my lips. But before that, my mom took me out of that school for a while, and I took a year off. I went under the knife. I was scared and excited, but I was determined. In the end, I had several operations. I took a long time to heal, and recovery was the most difficult process I've ever been through. I had to pass dozens of tests, take medication, keep a diet, and touch my face very carefully. But when all the bruises were gone, they gave me a mirror and I looked at myself. There was a completely different person. A new me. I became so beautiful, with a neat nose, big eyes, and plump lips. For a year, my hair grew, and I changed my color from brunette to blonde. I changed my wardrobe, began to dress brighter, and this gave me confidence. I chose the day when I decided to go back to school to start studying again. All my classmates were in shock, as well as teachers. I went into the building a different person, and now no one dared to say offensive words to me. In the evening of the same day, there was to be another party, which was a year ago. I was going to go there and say hello to my ex. As soon as I stepped inside, I was enveloped in nostalgia. Once again, all eyes were on me. The music stopped, and I saw Lance. He stood and chatted with a girl. It hasn't changed much in a year. I went up to him and told him that I was grateful for everything, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be like this. Lance couldn't get a word out. It was flattering. Then I was about to leave, and he stopped me. We went out on the street. My ex tried to take my hand, talked about feelings that didn't cool down, said that he was stupid, and asked me to forgive him. I just said I didn't hold a grudge anymore and was about to leave when his girlfriend, the one who was laughing at me, ran out. She asked what we were talking about, and I told her the truth, that we were discussing my beauty. The girl made a grimace, and then jealousy boiled up in her. It was obvious. I won. She called me a beast, and I pushed her right into the mud and left. Lance still texted me after that, asking me to be together, but I already didn't need him. I started a new life, beautiful and full of happy moments. Now I knew my worth. Do not forget to put likes, write your opinion in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to this channel.